No, some breaking fucking news here. So I I guess I owe an apology to someone who was in my Instagram comments not too long ago, about a month or so back, when I first started talking about these Wiseco Boostline rods, right? The Boostlines. I was like, yeah, big ass beefy rods, 1,000+ horsepower capable, yada yada, all that good stuff. And he's like, oh, that's great. This dude was like, that's great. Do you have to notch for those? And I was like, no, I've never heard anybody need to do that, need to notch that. I've never heard any discussion about any block notching for these for these rods. The only time in the Honda world I've ever heard anything about block notching was for the Vitara shit. But yeah, motherfucker, bro, I have got this shit all matted up together, right? Fucking, the RTV is nice and solid in here. The fucking, rings on two pistons and rods are gapped, and motherfucker, we have goddamn contact. Bink. So now, I have got to take this motherfucker all the way the fuck back apart and notch the block. Yeah, that's not something I factored in for this fucking build. Now it's something I got to think about in the future going forward. And that fucks up my night. This engine build is now off. Is done. I can't do anything else tonight. It's 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. I've only got 3 hours to work. I mean, I guess I could take it apart right now and start notching, but I don't have the time to fucking make sure everything is good here, man. I just don't. So it's gonna have to come back apart. I'm gonna have to check. I have to notch and then check clearances to make sure that we the rods pass. This just became a huge fucking hassle, but I had to put it out there because I've never ever seen anybody make comments on this before. I guess we all get stuck in the world of whether these super high horsepower K series, 700-800 horsepower K series. But I guess we despite the fact that there are a lot of 1,000 horsepower builds out there, we just don't really hear people talking about them like that. And I've never heard anybody ever mention have to notch to pass these fucking rods. And yeah, so that definitely fucks up my plans for having this goddamn build done tonight. So yeah, that puts me on the back burner for another week. But only a week at most. Notching the block isn't gonna be that big of a hassle. Gapping the rings is more of a fucking pain in the ass than anything. That's what I spent the majority of my night so far doing, was just doing that. I've still got two more to gap. So I don't know, maybe that's all I'll finish doing, or maybe, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to finish doing tonight. I'm probably just going to finish gapping the rings, so that way once everything's done, I can put it back together. And I guess I can keep those rings on those pistons and rods right there. I don't need to have cylinder specific pistons and rods out to check the notch clearances or whatnot. I've been pretty good about eyeballing the single cams and knowing where I need to cut. This is the first time having to do it for a K, so I don't know exactly how much is going to have to come off, but yeah, I guess we'll see. Damn, bro. It just sucks to have to cut into this after this block has been freshly machined. Like, I wish I would have known about this ahead of time, because before I sent it to CSS, I would have done all the notching then. Now, I didn't have the rods in hand at the time, but I've been pretty good about getting first time goes with my notching, and I would have rather had the block notched before boring and honing. I mean, it's not going to make a difference, but the cleanup and all that's done. This is a brand new fresh block, and now I'm going to have to get in here and clean up real good and all that stuff. It just, I don't know. It's going to set me back a little while. It's still going to be done next weekend, but I've been saying next weekend for this block for like a month. And it's just frustrating to do it. Anyway, guys, I just thought I'd put it out there because I've never heard anybody mention it before, and I figured, maybe I should then. If you're gonna build one of these big bad boy motherfuckers. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and social media links are in the description down below. Peace.